Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Precious Metal Summit Zurich, and it's day one. We want to talk now to Wallbridge Mining, and Brian Penny, the CEO, is here with us. Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. And I must say, I was quite impressed when I looked at your presentation. You have already like a good 5-6 million ounces, and you are just in the longer part of the Detour Lake mine. So please give us a short overview on the company.
Short overview is Wallbridge Mining Company controls 830 square kilometers, right on strike to Detour. We have two discoveries, one being the Fenelon project, which we recently completed a PEA with good economics. We have a second discovery called Martiniere, which is about 30 kilometers away. So ultimately, this will be developed as a combined operation. The PEA is done on Fenelon only, and over the next while, we will focus more of the exploration on Martiniere to advance it, with a goal of having a combined study in, sometime in the near future. Okay,
super. Can you give us a bit more light, a little bit more data on the PEA, what we are talking about?
Well, the PEA was completed at $1,750 gold. It was based on, we did a detailed analysis of how to get to commercial production. We didn't just look at a recent 7,000 ton a day mill and indexed it by inflation. We actually broke it down to the component parts. We, built the study on that and, came up with our capital estimates. We're focusing on the first 4 years after 2 years to build it, 4 years of production by extending the existing ramp infrastructure. And then after that, during that 4 years, we'll develop the underground shaft for the bottom of the ore body.
Okay.
So focusing on, the construction capital, managing that as best as we can, which gives us a better opportunity to finance as we go forward.
Absolutely. What amounts of money we roughly talk about?
In Canadian dollars, the construction capex is $645 million, and the life mine capex is $540 some million. It's the ratio is a bit off because we're pushing what you would normally do up front into the production period.
Okay, super. What would be approximately annual production?
Average annual production for about 12 years is 212,000 ounces.
Wow, that's a nice operation.
All-in sustaining costs a little less than $1,000 an ounce. So very attractive economics. And then if you look at the sensitivities to change in, capital and operating costs, it's still very attractive. An 18% IRR, but at today's spot gold, it could be closer to 24%.
I could imagine that, yeah. And hopefully next year gold is much, much higher.
I hope so. That's why I've been in this business for almost 40 years.
Okay, yeah, then you should even know better than me. Is it gold only or other metals associated?
It's gold only. There's a very nominal silver byproduct credit, but it basically covers the refining costs at the Royal Canadian Mint. So it's
super.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice add-on.
Yeah.
Good to have. Super. This was now the PEA. What would be, let's say, the time plan to do, pre-feasibility study, feasibility? What could we imagine?
Well, normally, once you do a PEA, your next step is to go to a pre-feas.
Exactly.
In today's marketplace, with where our equity is trading at, it's challenging because the dilution would be, more than one would want. So we're focused on over the next 24 months to, drill some of the targets we have, hopefully extending Fenelon, focusing on Martiniere to get more comfortable with the resource, grow the resource, and with a goal of, by the end of 2025, putting out a combined PEA on the two properties.
Okay.
And then that will allow us at that point in time to look at the next steps because, for us to go out and raise, $30 or $40 million in today's marketplace to go to the next study, it's still early and we've got time. We will still do all the studies, the environmental studies, and all that as well during the interim period.
So fully agreed and understood. So let's come to Martiniere. Where do you see there, let's say the next immediate steps, one hand, on the other hand, how does that then fit longer term into the game plan?
Well, we need to figure out how it fits in the long term because right now the grades at Martiniere are a little higher than Fenelon. So, one, it's open in all directions. One, it's open at depth. We do have some small open pits and, working on underground development to ultimately get the production in the future. So, focusing on that, focusing on drilling, so that we can expand the resource and it will give us the tools to do the combined PEA at some point in the future.
Wow, okay, super. What is cash in the bank? Are you financed for next year?
We recently completed a $10 million flow-through financing. So, we're projecting year-end cash balance of $27 million. The joy of exploring in Quebec, there's this refundable tax credit regime. And last year, and when we filed our 2022 tax returns, we were entitled to a $13 million refund, subject to a mandatory audit. We got that money in August. Based on this year's program, it will roughly be about $8 million. Again, we'll file our tax returns early, call the auditor, and hopefully we can get that money in before the end of the year. Do I think we're going to get it in August again? Hopefully, but it will leave us with enough money to start something for 2025 and between now and then figure out what do we need for 2025.
Super, and gold should be in at 2,500.
Well, that would be wonderful.
Absolutely. Who are your largest shareholders? What is management share in the company?
Management owns about 1%. Eric Sprott is our biggest shareholder, about 16%. Agnico Eagle is a strategic shareholder. They own 9.9% of the company. That came from Kirkland Lake because Kirkland Lake made the first investment into us. And, they've participated in every financing since to hold their share at 9.9, so a very supportive shareholder. And there's a small contracting company out of Sudbury called WM.TO Construction. They got involved when it was a base metal explorer many years ago, and they own about 6% of the company.
Okay, so everything is in good shape.
Everything's in great shape.
Super. Perfect. Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you.
It was a great insight, and we wish you well. Merry Christmas, and please keep on drilling because I think you are in the right jurisdiction at the right spot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Brian Penny, the CEO of Wallbridge Mining. You heard it. This is the Fenelon district with the Fenelon project and also Martiniere. And this is just a continuation of the Detour Lake mine. So I think it's a fantastic setup geologically for sure, but also with the Detour Lake mine here in the directly on the site. And the company has already a good 6 million ounces gold found. So that looks all fantastic. And with a great team, great setup. Check it out. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Zurich.